All right, what's going on, Tycoon? Super excited for today's video. We're gonna go over Visa. Give Visa some attention. Okay, it was up over 6% on the day. It has started pulling back. Okay, it recently just had earnings, rallied up huge, and then they partnered with Affrm. Okay, I believe they did a debit card with Affrm. Affrm spiked up really big in the after hours. Okay, if we take a look at that. Um, and we'll be able to show you guys basically what happened. Okay, we'll zoom in a little bit more to like the 1 hour chart. And yesterday when a firm was below 50, it was at like 48, 49. I went ahead and got in here. Okay, because I knew a firm wasn't going to stay below this price recently. If we look last time, it dipped below 50. Okay, it recovered very well. Okay, so it came down to 48 and then went all the way back up to 58, right? And I did amazing on some call options there. And right here we got back in. It got right around 48. It recovered very nicely in the after hours, went up, and then it dipped a little bit this morning, and it's kind of just sideways. But overall, still up on the day, over 4% right now. And we were able to get like 300% on those options. All right. Now let me actually show you guys real quick. Okay. When you join the Options Trading Tycoons Discord, this is kind of basically what you gain access to, right? Is you know, we have the circle of opulence where like all of the talks are, right? But we have our call outs, right? Our plays. So you can see our call outs. We have stock call outs, we have small cap call outs. Okay. So as you can see here, firm was a small cap call out. We bought the 52 calls for 52 dollars a contract. And then I did that at 348 yesterday. And then you can see here right at 1 minute when market opened at 931, closed those for 300%. And we already have another day trade right here that we're up, that we got about 40 to 50% on. So that's what you gain access to when you join the Options Trading Tycoons Discord. Link is in the description below. Use code Zachly. Okay. For right now, what we're going to look at is we're going to go back to Visa. Okay. And so Visa, if you look here on the 1 hour chart, has been performing really well. So basically what we're going to need to do is break this trend line right here. All right. So this white trend line is going to be, in a sense, kind of, the breakdown. Okay. So, whenever we stop bouncing off of this trend line and we come back down, you see we have this blue box here and this blue box above. These are daily gaps. Okay. Daily gaps tend to fill about 90 to 95% of the time. A great example is right here. We had a small daily gap. We gapped up. Okay. And that was in December 6th. All right. And then later in January 25th and 26th, we filled that gap. Okay. So, that's kind of how the gaps work, is they fill, but it just takes a matter of time. Okay. So, I'm a little bit torn right now if I want to hop in calls for Visa and ride this momentum to the gap fill up. Or, I think that even with all this market FUD and the good earnings, I think that any company's earnings is not going to last as a positive catalyst. I mean, look at Tesla and Apple, even for instance, right? But financials are expected to do really well in this, basically this bearish market full of market FUD associated with interest rates. That should help the banks out. If there's higher interest rates, they should be able to earn some more money, right? Another one we're going to look at, okay, is SQ. Now this is actually Block, all right, the company Block, but I really like Block a lot, especially at these heavily discounted rates. Okay, if you look at it, Block was almost at $300 recently. It had a nice little just kind of consolidation period where it was trading sideways, right? After the massive run up. Okay, so we run up after the COVID crash, right, in March. Boom, we run up over 800% almost, right? 750 to 800%, right? And now since then, we have come back down. All right, we've dropped over 65%, which is really amazing, honestly. I mean, when you can, I personally think Block is going to be around a long time, and Jack Dorsey is doing a lot of stuff with Block. I definitely see this one being a great company in the future and lasting, the test of time, being around for another 5 years. So, it's a great time to start averaging into some positions. Okay, if you notice, anytime we dip below the 200 SMA on the weekly chart, you know, it recovers very, very well. Okay. You know, last time it did that was in the COVID crash. So hopefully that kind of puts some perspective, you know, some of this into perspective for you guys. You know, like last time we were trading this cheap and this much of a discount below the 200 SMA, you know, was when COVID crash happened. So, you know, a lot of people made a ton of money. I don't think we'll see that repeat. I don't think we'll see the market go straight up for 2 years in a row. You know, there's definitely a possibility we could trade sideways for a little bit, but when it comes to long-term investing, these are some great opportunities. You know, it's not financial advice, but if you have a long-term shares account or you have a retirement account, um, you know, it's good to start getting a position size built in these companies while they're on sale. Now, of course, these things all can drop further, okay? But you know, if you have $1,000 or $10,000, right? Maybe I would put 10 to 15% of that position, or 10 to 15% into some of these different financial stocks to, you know, just kind of get a position built, right? That way, if it keeps dropping lower, you still have money to buy the dip. And you know, if we start to recover, then you already got some skin in the game, and you can add back in at the prices that you feel comfortable. Okay, so we got Visa, Square, PayPal is another one I really like a lot. PayPal is, you know, doing a lot of partnerships with the crypto community. So, you know, I think that that will help them long term. Okay. So, you know, we came down here into this demand zone. That's this green box right here, and consolidated a little bit. And then we fell out of demand and found support on our 200 SMA. Okay. So right now we're bouncing off of that 200 SMA. It's got earnings tomorrow, or I'm sorry, maybe that's Monday. You know, that's going to be a big catalyst for PayPal. And, you know, we could see PayPal do what Visa did the day after its earnings, you know, because if we look at Visa, Visa shot up 6% today. PayPal has been falling, and it's consolidating now right around this earnings rally. So, or not a rally, but this earnings call. So, you know, we could see investors come in, you know, throw a couple $100 million into PayPal for the long term, and it rally up off of that short-term catalyst, you know, maybe some good earnings. But, you know, most likely a lot of these companies' earnings isn't really going to affect the stock very positively in the long term for 2022, right? So, you know, we may be able to get some good news on, you know, its previous, you know, quarter, but you know, it may not sustain. That's all I'm just trying to say is you may see this go up and then come right back down, or you may just see it go down. You know, we're not really in a market where everything is going to be going up and people are just going to be flooding in and, you know, putting all of their money into different stocks. All right. And the last one I want to mention is going to be SoFi. Okay. So we got SoFi. SoFi, I just entered some swing call options. Okay. I did very amazing the last time on the call options. We had this bullish divergence right here at this arrow. Okay. So let me cancel these extensions. Okay. So basically, right here was the first time we played some SoFi calls, right? So, you know, we bounced here, we got into calls, and then because we had bullish divergence, which I have a tutorial on bullish divergence in the top right hand corner of this video, but basically it's when the RSI makes a higher low, right? So we had a low here and then a higher low here, but the stock price is actually making lower lows. So we had a low and a lower low. When these two match up together, that's bullish divergence. It's an indicator that you could see bullish activity. And in the next 2 days after that, it went up 37%. So, you know, pretty amazing. Now, if we extend this drawing to the right, you'll see that we're still respecting this downtrend line and bouncing off of it. Okay. And if you extend this to the right, then you'll notice that we are now falling down and approaching this bullish divergence line. And, you know, I would expect to see some buyers step in this area. Okay. This is kind of like our little bounce zone on the RSI. And I would expect some buyers to step in along this trend line, as you can see they did here when it wicked, you know, shortly below that trend line just for a couple minutes. All right. So let's zoom in maybe to the 1 hour chart, and you can, or to the 1 minute, you can get a little bit of a better idea. Okay. So I was tracking to see if we had this inverse head and shoulder play out. We came back down. And you know, if we break this neckline right here, then you know, SoFi could pop back up to like 1140, 1150. So that's kind of the intraday day trade on it. But as far as SoFi goes, you know, I do think that it's a nice swing. whenever we get a bounce off of this trend line and it's matching up with the bullish divergence. Okay, so again, not financial advice, just my opinion based off the charts. And if you want to gain access to the Options Trading Tycoons Discord, where you can gain all of these analysis every day from me and the 3 other admin members, as well as our call outs, our entries, and our exits, so you can trade along with us. Use code Zachly, like the channel name ZachlyTrades, and it will get you a discount on your membership. All right, so thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.